to my channel. In this video, I am going to be talking about the advantages of having a designated loctician for your lock hair care needs. By designated, I mean one consistent loctician that you would go to for your hair care needs when it comes to maintaining your locks. All right, so let's get into the video. Okay, so the first advantage I'm going to be talking about is consistency in the method of interlocking. So when you go for your retightening appointments, they're going to be retightening your roots. There are different techniques. So there's the 2-point rotation, 3-point rotation, or the 4-point rotation. Depending on the rotation that you go with, it could influence the thickness of your locks or how they look aesthetically in general. So having a consistency in rotation that you choose to retighten your hair would also then translate into a consistent look that your lock has. And different locticians have different techniques or approach to retightening your hair. So if you have that designated individual for retightening your hair, they would have a consistency in their approach to retightening your roots. So that's one of the advantages I find. They would have that consistent approach to your hair. So when your hair is growing out, when your locks are growing out, they look uniform in thickness, in size, in how they look in general. So that's one advantage I would say you would have with having a designated individual when it comes to retightening or for your lock hair care. Now, there may be situations where you may need to go to someone else who's available. Maybe your designated individual is not available at that point in time, and it happens, right? Things could come up. What I would recommend in that situation is knowing the technique or the approach that your loctician uses to retighten your hair, so that you can relay that information to the other loctician that you'd be going to for your appointment. They may be able to accommodate what you're asking for, the approach you would prefer. To maintain that consistency in your locks, but not all opticians have the same approach. Sometimes the tools that they're using as well, influences the rotation that they would take on when it comes to retightening your locks. So the tools that they use could influence the technique or the approach in rotation that the locticians take when it comes to retightening your roots. So just have that in mind as well. But yes, that's one of the advantages I find with maintaining one loctician or having a designated loctician when it comes to your hair care, when it comes to your locks. All right, so that's one thing I just wanted to mention. The second advantage I wanted to mention with regards to having a designated loctician for your lock hair care needs is that they eventually get to know your hair. So they know how your hair works, they know the type of hair you have, pattern of your curls, etc. And they also look at parts of your hair that might be thinning out or might have some damage and whatnot. And then they know the best approach to take when it comes to your retightening or anything in general when it comes to your locks. So that's another advantage. In my own case, from personal experience, there's some parts of my hair that are thinning out in certain areas. So when it comes to locking those areas, I know my loctician is a bit more careful with that area, or she has an approach when it comes to that specific area of my hair. So that's a benefit of having someone designated, or one individual who's designated when it comes to your to retightening or maintenance of your locks. And in the event that you're maybe not able to access that designated person for when it comes to maintaining your locks, it's good to know your hair, and in terms of like different parts, how maybe certain parts need a little more extra care when it's being handled. It's good to know those parts of your hair so that you can point it out to the next loctician as well. And maybe you can also ask your consistent loctician to find out exactly what approach they take towards that particular sensitive area of your hair, so that you can have that information, so that if things change where you need to go to someone else for their service, you may be able to pass on that information as well to that other individual. Yes, but that is another advantage that I have observed with regards to maintaining one designated, or having a designated loctician. They get to know your hair, so they know how to approach it. The best way to do that, so to ensure that your locks continue to flourish in the way that they should. The next advantage I wanted to mention is building rapport. Having a rapport with your loctician, building that relationship helps to ease communication between yourself and your loctician. It makes communicating what you want when it comes to your locs easier than having multiple individuals that you talk to. You can still develop a relationship with multiple locticians, but having that designated individual, it helps makes communication easier. From experience, personally, I've had a situation where I had to go to a different person, and communication at first was a little bit, it wasn't as smooth. And you know what? I just wanted to get my retightening done, and I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna let the communication go. Not let it go, but I communicated what I wanted, but their response wasn't really what I preferred. And at that moment, I just wanted to get the service done, get my hair retightened. So I was able to make certain, concessions, or I just overlook certain things. I was like, okay, those are the little things. I'm gonna overlook it, but it's important, but I'm just gonna overlook it because I may not even be coming back here, right? Or I just wanted to get something done, get a service from them, and whatever I needed to do at that moment to make that service or rendering of that service easier was what I was willing to do. So, but if I was with my designator or my consistent loctician, I wouldn't have had to communicate certain things because there's already that relationship. We already have that relationship where we can communicate, or she knows exactly the approach that I would like, or I understand her technique. Her technique has been serving my locs greatly, or has been serving my locs well. So that communication is already established, and we kind of know how each other works, like how she does her work, and also my expectations when it comes to my locs. So there is that established rapport that makes communication easier, and that is another benefit I find with having a designated loctician or someone consistently that maintains your locs. All right, so the final point that I would like to mention when it comes to having a designated loctician, a benefit I find, is consistency in your locs. So consistency in how they look, consistency in how they flourish, consistency all around. Yeah, so that's one of the benefits of having a designated individual that maintains your locs, is that consistency. That the individual you're going to has a method. The method seems to be working because you're going back to them, I'm assuming, anyways. And so there is that consistency in general in the way that your locs flourish. And that's something I cherish, and I want for my locs, that consistency. I like uniformity. I want my locs looking a certain way, and I want each of them looking a certain way. So that's something I find beneficial with having one individual, or having a consistent individual you go to maintain your locs. All right, guys, so those are the things I find that are beneficial with maintaining a designated loctician when it comes to your loc hair needs. And if you guys have any other pointers, or if you have any other reasons that you find beneficial with regards to going to one individual for your loc maintenance, please share them down below. Put some comments down below so that I can learn from them, and also someone else who comes across this video can also learn from. All right, guys, so if you did find this video helpful, or if you enjoyed it, please please share the video. And if you've not watched my other videos, I do have other videos with regards to my loc journey, so please don't hesitate to check them out. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.